Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Backyard Sportscenter podcast. This is part two, so to speak, of the rBBL season preview. This time we'll be going over the 2003 league, season 11 of the rBBL. Again, I am with Crazyei8hts and Wizards. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Ready to tackle the 03 slate.
Yeah, doing just fine. Happy to be here as always.
So before we get into the 03 teams, we have got to do some Patreon shout outs for people that are subscribed. So if you want a shout out, subscribe to the Patreon. It'll be linked in the description. But so far we have 3 people that have subscribed to the Patreon. And just pulling that up right now. The first one, that was Rovinami. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then we have CRK. I know he's been a huge fan of the program and the podcast, so that's really amazing. And then, last but not least, we have BBOL World Series participant for the past 2 seasons, Killer Bat.
Yeah, good group. Thank y'all.
Yeah, Rovinami is the one that's making that fan game mod for it's supposed to be like almost like a backyard kart racing game or whatever, like a mod of a game, but using like making up art for it. So I don't know exactly all that's entailed, but it looks kind of interesting. So make sure you check that out in the BBOL server.
Who is the best driver of the backyard kids, do we think?
I don't know. I feel like Tony would know what's up.
Tony's, Sally, any of those kids that might be old enough to have had some practice already.
I feel like Annie would not want to drive at all because she didn't want to save the planet, greenhouse gases.
Get her a hybrid.
Yeah, I don't know who would be. I could definitely see Tony doing that. I could see Keisha doing pretty well. Pete wouldn't know where to go.
Yeah, those older kids. No, but no one's letting Pete drive. They don't need to include Pete in this mod.
He'd be driving backwards. He'd be doing the mirror courses, but on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it for that. So, yeah, should we get on with the 2003 league? So in 2003, we have the front yard and the backyard instead of the AL and the NL. So, I guess we'll start with the front yard league West. And that looks like the first one is Chris. Go Fishes.
Go Fish.
Chris has an interesting combination of boosts because he's got Jeter and A-Rod who like minimally boost each other. And then he also picked up Reese who gets boosted with Derek Jeter.
I think it's solid. I mean, they run pretty well, and they're going to swing it pretty well. He really only has the one power bat, but minimal arms. But I think it'll be solid for him. And where are they at Cement? Yeah, and they run well enough.
This team's defense looks like it's going to be pretty good, especially at Cement with the Derek and Alex combination. Also with Kendall.
Yeah, Murray catcher. One of them, Jeter, A-Rod, Kendall, somebody's got to be in the outfield, right? I might put A-Rod out in the left.
That is what he did.
Yeah.
Now that I have all the lineups.
Yeah. Insider trading. So is he Kendall third?
No, he's got Kendall in center field and
I like that. Third. I don't like that, but
well, because the thing is, his like 3 most likely pitchers are like the 3 weakest arms.
Mm-hmm.
So think he wanted to avoid putting them in the outfield.
Weiss second, Tran on the mound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Reese comes in third. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, that'll be good in the outfield. And obviously Jocinda, Murray, big arm. Maybe those balls just don't get hit to Reese, but he'll have a bit of a Bermuda Triangle between Ray and Murray and Reese. I mean, Ray's got the speed, but the arm, so that'll be it. But I think this team's definitely got potential to be solid.
Better hope that Jeter's going to do work at shortstop.
He will.
Well, which he will, but like the other thing is that you got to worry about Murray coming in after 15.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it's not the worst case scenario because if you give up 15, there's a chance you'll lose anyway if you don't score 15.
Right. And it pushes Reese there. So, yeah, things kind of unravel after 15. But 15, now that we've got these defenses without the locks, like 15 is a really strong score. So,
yeah,
it's not happening as often as it did pre-modded B-file.
That is true. I don't know how much the boost to Reese makes him better as far as like, and obviously it's an improvement over regular Reese, but is it like that significant?
I think it increases his stamina, which is one of Reese's weakest points.
A little bit of bat.
And is Murray no, Reese is the power-up user.
Oh, it actually does make his arm a little better too. And yeah, Reese is the power.
35 is still rough though. That's really, honestly, all things aside, that's my biggest concern is just him at third with no arm and possibly coming in. But if the ball gets hit to him a couple times, he might not come in, which would also push Murray up again. So that'll be a little dicey. But if the defense is good enough to hold people down in the below 10 or, even below 15, if Reese isn't making throws, I think he'll be fine.
I mean, Chris is a good player, and he pretty much can work with like any style of team, which is not everyone can do. So, because he's drafted a whole variety of teams over the course of his tenure in the rBBL. So, he's very versatile in his strategies and capabilities.
Yep.
Who's next?
So next we got Shrews. Shrews also on cement playing at the Paveway with a Sammy Sosa first round pick. And Shrews, correct me if I'm wrong, Shrews had Cheryl last season in one of the leagues?
I had Cheryl in 03.
Nate, you had Cheryl in 01? I want to say
I think he played at Paveway, I think.
He had Vlad and Bagwell, I think.
Okay. I think he did have Sammy Sosa last season.
I had Sosa in 01. Did he have Sosa in 03? Oh, yeah, because he only played 03.
I think he had Sosa in 03, yeah, because I had Cheryl.
Yeah, I want to say he did. So
yes, he did.
He goes back to the big bat. He's got almost MVP winner Wally Evans here as his second pick. Just jumping off the page, a lot of middling arms, but no bad arms. Not a single bad arm on this team, just some middling arms. And kind of the same with bats. He's got a couple mid-tier bats, but not a single bad bat. Low-ish stamina outside of Frank, but obviously with that as your starting pitcher, that's big time. I like this team, especially on cement. I know Matthew, the jury's been out on Matthew, but I like this team. I'm a big Higginson fan, despite what others think. I think he's a really good all-around player.
I think this team is better offensively, maybe slightly, than his team last season, but a little bit worse defensively. His team last year was a pain to play at cement or at Paveway. Because I just had all sorts of issues trying to score against that defense with those arms.
Yeah, really only 3 good arms. And one of them, Sosa's going to be at catcher, and Sosa's also his second or one of his best few runners. So does he go Higginson shortstop or is Higginson in the outfield?
Let me look. Now that I have yeah, Higginson is shortstop.
Yeah. So he's probably got Arlene and Uno and Van Doren in the outfield. Oh no, Evans, Van Doren, and maybe Uno out there.
He's got
or Uno three bag.
Wally, Adam, and Matthew.
Arlene. Okay. Stephanie one bag, who will come in second. That'll be nice pushing Frank to first right out of the gate with those 5 runs. He gets the 5 height there. So Uno 3 bag per Arlene second. So, and then because Arlene comes in third. It's honestly okay. Matthew out there, decent. It's not going to be terrible.
I just don't like drafting Sammy Sosa on a field with limited fence.
Yep, I agree. Yes, 100%. You're not maximizing him, but it worked for Shrews last year. So, yeah, I mean, Shrews first year making the playoffs last year and looking to build on that success. But I think it's a fine team. It's a fine comp, especially with 03 with the limited talent pool.
Yeah, I did like his team last season a little bit better than this one, but I think this is still a good team.
All right.
Next up, we got Scott Egbert, or also known as Maria Luna fan, playing at Ekman Acres, it looks like.
Did not know that was the same person.
So you got Bonds clone, Griffey clone, Green, Delgado, Angela, Vicky. A lot of pros and backyard kids or clones, and then Catherine Asher. Interesting choice for the 9th rounder.
Because by the time we got to the 9th round, all the pros were gone, and he was like trying to draft pros the whole time.
I fell into this a little bit too my first season, and I think it's just the pool of generics is so overwhelming that it's almost just safer to stick with what you know. Because I ended up with almost all generic, but outside of Henri and I think Winchell, all generics or clones or backyard kids my first season.
So it looks like that's a good pitcher, though. So that probably was why.
Yeah, his team does have a lot of pitching.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of bats.
They have your arch nemesis, crazy Carlos Delgado.
That's season 5.
Yeah, luckily he's in the front yard, I'm in the backyard, so we won't face each other.
You survived this year.
But he's got
Also, he has Angela and I have Tony. They also won't face each other, which is too bad.
I've always wanted to see that matchup. Have we had that before?
I think so. A couple times. I don't remember the last time specific.
I think this team built 7 bats over 75, which is good, and I think he will need to score runs to win, because at Ekman, which is a graveyard, he doesn't run particularly well and he doesn't throw particularly well, and I think that's going to hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
So who does he have starting at pitcher? Angela?
Yeah, I think so.
Angela and Delgado at first, or is he running Piazza one? I guess he's got 3 first basemen, really.
Well, the other thing is with these RP scores, they're so close together. Well, I guess Delgado's a little bit above the rest, but after him, you don't know who's coming in.
Yeah, those 3 are all right there.
Yeah, Giambi, Green, and Asher.
I'd probably play Piazza at first and Giambi in like right field since he might come in. That sucks having him there, but Asher 2 bag, or maybe Asher right field, Giambi 2 bag.
Because you really don't want to have Angela go to first base. That's just a recipe for disaster.
No, you cannot have that.
Anywhere she really goes is a disaster.
Right. I'm hoping that Bobby. Well, never mind. So Carlos has to play second base then, in theory.
You guys aren't ready for this. He's got Delgado.
Let's hear it.
He's got Delgado playing third base.
Oh no.
But I mean, it's possible that if Delgado fields a couple at third base, he could tire himself out and some other pitcher comes in second.
I'm not hitting it to him. Okay. So, and then Sean Green, shortstop.
He's got Vicky at shortstop.
Okay, I mean that works. He's got Maxwell Vallarta and Green. Oh no, he's probably got Maxwell catch, huh? And then
no, he's got Claudia catching and Maxwell in left, Catherine in center, and Sean in right.
okay, I mean he surrounds Catherine with decent speed. 75 arm is going to be a little rough behind the plate, but
his first draft had Angela catching, and I ixnayed that right away. I said you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
he listened to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, he almost that trade we had for Fields almost went through, and I think I had messaged Yuri, like I wasn't even trying to really sell him. I was just kind of fishing, and he kind of talked himself into it. But I think this team works worse. Looking at it now, fully constructed, works worse at Sandy than it does at Ekman.
This team would be awful.
Yeah, I mean arms and speed. You don't have to have a ton, but good Lord, he would not get the ball around the sand at all. So, well, Scott, we're glad to have you. Have fun. Reach out to your vets for feedback if you need it or want to.
Next up, last but not least in this division, we have Visery, the B file master. This team also has Griffey, Ahmed, Nan Porter, got both of the cons, Amir, Tom Glass, Greg Vaughn, Redacted, and Serena DeMonte.
Mm-hmm.
So going with offense with the Griffies and the cons.
I think it's a good team. Go ahead.
This team is definitely gonna try to out offense everyone because look at those crappy arms they have.
Yeah, man, they've got 4 bad arms, and Nan's isn't great.
They also have 4 sluggers.
And so, does he catch Greg Vaughn or Lena?
No, I think Lena's the catcher.
Okay. Greg Vaughn shortstop. That sounds like something Crazy would do. Or not Crazy, this would do. Yeah, sorry. So where does he put Serena? Because Serena's coming in second.
Second base, yeah.
That's the one thing with that kid. Like 100 arm, but that relief prio, it's like you can't even really use their arm that well.
If their relief prio is like 200 even, where do you think how much increased draft stock they would go?
Round 8. They're just butch at that point.
Yeah. The dream scenario is if you could get a pitcher who's good at catcher, and then those two could switch.
Mm-hmm.
But then stamina could mess with that. As in, even if they have a good arm, if they're tired, it could still be worthless.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean he's playing Bobby in the outfield?
No, Bobby's the striker.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. Glass in the outfield, because Glass will come in third. Yeah. Glass right. Nan in left, because that's been the popular move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. The arms, though, yeah. Where are they at? Oh, they're at Steel.
So who's in center?
Amir.
Okay, so that...
yeah, you get a hide in the Steel center field.
That's going to be okay at home, rough on the road.
Is Griffey 3-bag?
Yeah.
I like that. I like Griffey at third and short.
The left, yeah. I mean, the left side of his defense will be fine with Greg and Griffey and Nan out there, but Amir and Tom Glass, because I don't know, it's a little dicey, but it's at Steel. They're gonna try to hit bombs and will hit bombs.
It's Viz. They'll hit bombs.
They will. So, all right. What do you guys think about this division?
I don't know. I think Visery probably front runner just because he's Visery. But I would put, I don't know. I would put probably.
I think Visery takes it.
Can't decide between Shrewsbury and Chris, who's next most likely.
I think Shrew's team is my favorite in this division, but I mean, it's always hard when you get these teams that are real close together, and because we know ability plays a factor, but I'd probably bet on Viz too, but I think I like Shrew's team comp the best.
Yeah, I think it's almost a coin flip between Shrews and Chris as far as like second place if Vizzery's playing at their full potential. But I think I'll give the slight edge to, I think I would go Vizzery, Chris, Shrews, and then Scott would be my order.
All right. Tune in to see.
Or maybe Scott will be putting up a bunch of runs and prove us all wrong.
Yep. Maybe add Ekman.
I'd love to see it.
Yep.
Next up, we got the front yard, or the front yard central, starting with Bobby and the Texas Astros at Tin Can Alley. Julie, Sally, Stuart, Dimitri, Jorge, Barbara, Baco, Judy, and Vincent.
He brought back a few of the same pieces as last season, because last season he had Sally and Jorge and a Dimitri clone.
I think this team is super dirty, and like he only has. I mean, Judy's arm's okay. I think this team's going to have a lot of success. They hit well. They'll have some defensive pieces in the right place. I know he said he's going Stu one bag.
Now that's interesting.
And he doesn't have a. Yeah,
I think that was his other team.
Oh, is it? He has Stewart on both teams.
He does, yeah. On this one, Stewart's playing left field.
Okay.
He's got,
that arm, because the left field gets a lot of play at TCA, but Jorge.
I think the one underrated aspect of Stewart in the outfield at Tin Can is that if you hit it really high off the wall, if somebody's slow, it will bounce a couple times because they can't catch up with it. But if Stewart's there, he'll catch it on the first bounce.
He'll camp under it. So does he have Jorge at third, Barbara at first?
Yeah.
And Jorge, that's going to be dirty down the line.
Dunkel starting?
I like it.
Though Judy is starting.
Also Judy into Sally Judy into Sally into Julie.
Into Julie. So it's Sally second, Julie right?
Yeah.
Julie's okay. And Julie's going to be a menace out there for 10 runs, even away for sure. So you got Vincent at second? No, Vincent at short.
Vincent's the catcher.
Okay, that makes sense.
Doesn't have any super arms.
That works though. 97 stamina. That's kind of nice. Baco short.
Where is it? Yeah, that's correct.
They can play anywhere, man. They're so solid. And then Dimitri center.
That's not terrible for center, especially at TCA. Just going to depend on if this team on the road or playoffs, how that would affect it. Yeah. I know we talked about that in the other one.
But you have the two fastest players in the corner outfield spots.
That's true.
And
so I think it'll be okay.
Works. Yeah. Stamina, because the stamina is the only thing I'm looking at. I mean, Dimitri is not slow and has a decent arm, but can get burnt out real quick. I think this team is really good, and I think Bobby's going to have a lot of success with it. A lot of good bats too, outside of the two that. One obviously is Stu, and then Judy runs well enough on concrete.
I think this is a really good TCA team, so we'll see how he does. Next up, we got CRK, first season for him, subbed late in the season for, I don't remember exactly who he took over for.
For Arco.
Oh yeah, that's right, because of the computer issues. He is at the Paveway. What team is he going with?
Junior Bombers. CRK and I have spoke a lot about this team. I really like this team. Obviously, Heidi makes it a little harder to work with, but his outfield is going to mess people up for the first 10 runs, right, Eights?
Well,
no.
Grace is the most likely second pitcher.
Yeah. I couldn't remember who. I was telling him not to start Brad Key, but I think he ended up starting Brad Key.
Yeah.
Because he has Grace and Henri both out there, or Grace and Star both out there, and Henri, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing's going to fall. Literally nothing.
This team goes against everything I stand for. You can't hit. It's got 2 people that can hit.
Yeah, so that is the downside. But he runs pretty well at cement or on concrete. I mean, not great, but yeah, I do think it's going to struggle to score runs. He's going to have to just put Henry and Grace and Star 1, 2, 3, and then let Parker hit bombs or try to hit bombs.
So would you have rather had put like a Gale starting pitcher?
Yes, because then you still get Grace possibly, but you might not because they're so close in relief prio, and Gale's not going to be terrible out in the outfield, and Brad Key is serviceable out there too, but you possibly get Brad come in second, and then it pushes Grace to third, because then it pushes Henry down 1-2. You keep him in center for 15 runs instead of just 10.
And that's huge at cement.
But that outfield is going to be so frustrating to play against if he can score runs, just because they're really fast. I mean, it might just be you have to grounder against this team, because obviously Starr and Grace don't have arms. Like, if you get it past the infield, at least they're going to get to it, but they're not going to be able to get it in.
I was slightly worried that fly ball in the gap, they'll crash into each other.
For sure, because they're all getting there.
Yeah, they do have low aggression, but I've seen sometimes that it doesn't matter if you're fast, they're gonna go for it. So I don't know, if they don't crash into each other all the time, then yeah, this outfield's gonna be nasty. But if they all run after every fly ball, then it might work counterintuitive to what the plan was.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like this is what Personazzle did that I've been so impressed with since last season, but you can't have 3 speedsters. You need one of them to be a moderate speed.
The one thing I am worried about the defense, the infield defense, though, because it doesn't seem like it's that great.
So does he goes Rosanna short?
Yeah.
And Gale, yeah, Rosanna and Gale are third and short, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then Heidi catch with really just low stamina, great arm, but low stamina. Richie 1 bag. Parker 2 bag. That's the issue with hiding somebody there, is like that's the DH spot, is the second base. It's probably got to be like Grace, Star, Henry, and then maybe hit Parker lower in the lineup, because then Henry, even though he's that speed, he can drive them in with a line drive or whatever. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah. They're gonna hit a bunch of grounders, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team is going to be interesting. I'm curious. Because like the outfield versus infield disparity on the AI side is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see how the season turns out then.
Yep, absolutely. Who's next?
P. Sanchez at Playground.
I think he likes his other team better.
I don't know. This is a good-looking team. I like this team a lot.
Double Troy.
Nothing. They don't have. I mean, no one jumps off the page, and I think maybe that's why he's not stoked. But this is a really good all-around team. I think he's got 5 bats over 75. He has only 1 arm under 50, and it's his pitcher. Well, I mean, I guess we haven't got to that, but what I assume to be his pitcher, and they run well, except for Angelique. So I like this team a lot. I think at Playground, which is just kind of like a run-of-the-mill park, I think it's hard to say, but I think it has every opportunity to have success.
One issue, I have insider information here because P. Sanchez was talking to me about it. He said he can get a bunch of singles, but once the bases get loaded, he has to rely on people like Alicia and Troy to clear the bases, which isn't exactly their MO. I swear, I mean, that's how my team felt last year. I think he'll catch stride with him. Scotty catcher, I'm assuming, is where he is, would be my biggest kind of concern with this team, just with the stamina, and no elite arms outside of him. And then Keisha's is fine, but no bad arms. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the big thing on defense, but actually no, is where is Sean Green playing on defense?
First,
right field.
Oh, yeah, he's got a gloss at first for sure.
Yeah.
So he goes Chin into Harding into Wasser sauce.
In theory.
In theory.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
P. Sanchez, we'll see if P. Sanchez can make it work. Worked for your team last season, Wizard. You won the entire thing.
Well, asterisk next to it, but I think it's a really balanced team, and if he finds a way to get runs across, they'll be fine. It's just they'll probably be a consistent performer rather than we probably don't see 20 runs out of this team, or if we do, it's maybe once. They're probably just like a solid team. It's a solid defense, solid offense, but nothing crazy.
Solid B roster.
Yeah. 85.
Had to get the school reference since both of you work there.
Yeah.
So last but not least, we got Toast and the Twins at Parks. Toast got Xenon again. Seems like he always has either Xenon or Xena on their team every season.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So crazy. Does Xenon have enough power, do you think?
No, we need the 100-100 bet. He's got to up that contact.
Aren't we going to do that with the custom that has one speed? 125, 125, one speed?
Maybe something.
I don't know about this. You go ahead, AIDS.
I was just going to say I like this team. You were about to say you don't know about this team.
Just at Parks, like, I mean, and you might know better. I don't know if y'all play, or if either of y'all played there last year. I don't think so. But is 84 is going to push home runs out there? Is V Lee going to hit home runs at this field?
I think that Robert Young bat is very underrated because it's got that 88 contact.
Right.
That's why I drafted Samuel, because he was hitting bombs. Samuel's the 0-1 counterpart of Robert.
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting so many home runs for me in the name games. So I think that bat is going to hit some home runs. I think the 80, 81, they can poke it out down the line because it's very short there. So you could line drive swing and get a few home runs out of that.
Mm-hmm. So they don't, like, they've got some running holes for a team on a short field that, like, where they only maybe have one, maybe a couple hitting home runs. So that's what I'll be curious to see is if those slow runners clog up the lineup on a small field.
I think he's got to hope that Jose is hitting some home runs as well.
Yeah, he's automatic out if not.
Mary catcher, I'm guessing, with the 100 arm.
Yeah,
starting Jose on the mound?
No, he's starting McCannery. Got Jose at second base.
Mm.
Wonder if Jose will even come in, though, with the 14 stamina.
Mm-hmm.
But his RP is much higher than the next. So it would take a stamina catastrophe, I think, to not have him come in second.
Mm-hmm. But there's not a bad bat on this team. Ace might disagree, but I think Mary Riley's serviceable. So I think if he can hide those bad runners, and really it's just the two, because Harris will be fine, and obviously Robert Young's got plenty of pop. Like, I think it works.
I think it's just less power than you would think for a Parks team.
Maybe he's thinking he can just push balls out with those low 80 bats. Zenon's going to have a heyday, or Zenon's going to have a heyday here, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's good.
They're definitely going to be able to put up some runs because they got a good bat and speed combination, at least with their top six.
So is he Brenda shortstop?
Yeah.
Zenon third base?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Aaron, Veely, and Shane in the outfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, Aaron doesn't run particularly well, or like that great, but that arm, I think that's solid. Too high at first base, but Schlim's waiting for us to prove that that's not that important, or detrimental, rather.
I have a theory about the height at first base.
Care to share?
Yeah, my theory is that the height only matters if your first baseman has less height than your shortstop and your third base.
So if you're two heights throwing to two heights, it's not as big of a deal, you're saying?
Yep. So if you're throwing to the same height or taller, then you're fine. But if you're throwing from a high height to a low height, that's when you have the issues.
Shorts. Pablo Sanchez shortstop's the new meta.
No, my challenge for you is to get an all one height infield and see if your theory works.
Is that even possible?
Ronnie, Vicky, Pablo,
and custom.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that. Custom, yeah.
Vicky one bag. That's nasty.
Oh yeah, you could do it because you could have Ronnie, Pablo, Vicky, Luann.
And is Vicky a 2 height?
No, she's a 1.
Okay.
I think. I was just looking at. Hold on. Oh no, she is a 2 height. Who did I look at? Okay, then I guess you would need a custom player to make it work.
But I mean, you could still do all the 1 heights into a 2 height, and
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Pablo's shortstop actually kind of might work.
Someone ran it last season, right? Or is it 2 seasons ago? It was Jibbo. Didn't he run Pablo shortstop?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, what do you guys think about this division?
I think I like Bobby's team the most out of the 4.
Yeah, I do too. But this is
it'd be tough.
It's just there's some good players in this division.
As far as like rosters, I think I like Bobby's roster the most. But I think it's the top 3 are going to be really. I could see that going in any order, really. Though I think that it's going to depend on how good of a player P. Sanchez can work that roster, and I don't have enough experience seeing him to make a real judgment call on that.
Time will tell.
But I do think that just basically looking at the rosters, I think it's between Bobby and Toast.
I think I would agree with that.
All right. Moving on to the front yard east. We got Alex and his Royals, the lone Dubois team. And they are led by season 7 steroid user Jay Green. And, sorry guys. And this team, I think it was Alex that got Lubel. Yeah, 119 on Lubel, which Todd Helton stocks are like through the basement at this point. No one wants to touch Helton.
I like Todd Helton.
I think he's fine, especially at 119. I mean, that's after Beltran. So, Helton was he was your shortstop on your World Series team, 8?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So, I think this team, nothing's really jumping off the page to me.
God, Jay Green, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to hit 45 home runs this year.
No, the big thing about this team is that they got Markey and Billie Jean.
That's the storyline, the ESPN storyline.
Yeah. Although, if Markey has Billie Jean, then it doesn't matter if he's had Dubois Diamond or not. So that was an interesting move.
Wait, so he gets the Dubois boost, not the Billie Jean boost?
No, I'm saying that the Billie Jean boost goes over the Dubois boost, so he could have had any home field.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I was wondering because I was going to say, does he get the Dubois boost at home and then the Billie Jean boost on the road? I didn't know that makes sense though.
I'm pretty certain that. Well, we better check. But yeah, I think since the Billie Jean boost is better, I think that one takes over.
I got an idea for boost. This is kind of random. I think that that Paco should get a power boost when playing with Todd Helton.
Who should get the boost? Sorry.
Paco.
Why Paco?
Because you hit a home run with Paco in the World Series.
Oh, because of me.
Yeah.
I thought you meant.
It's part of the lore of the league. So
did you hit an unboosted home run with Paco?
I sure did. I still don't know how it was possible.
I think that's got it. You should have retired.
Maybe I should have.
Have
you seen my last few seasons? Maybe I should.
Hey, same, dude. Same until last season. I think this team works. Billie Jean, that's an abysmal kit when she's paired with Markey, but she's just going to stand at first base and catch the baseball.
He's actually not the first baseman.
Oh my God, who is Bagwell?
He's got Futterman at first and Billie Jean at second.
Oh, that's kind of dirty too, though. I mean, I might switch him. I guess he's wanting the speed at second versus the arm. Either way, tall second baseman. I mean, some of those line drives don't get through. Did he go Lubel shortstop? Or 3-bag?
Lubel at third.
Bagwell short.
Bagwell catcher, probably.
Bagwell
right?
catching, yeah. Colleen at short.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
A Markey on the mound.
No, he's got Jay on
Earl.
the mound, Markey and left.
Earl and right, and Dante in center.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty dirty, honestly.
So Jay into Markey into Earl.
So he's doing the old like outfield triangle relief, and I've never cared for that. I don't like that, but that's just me. I mean, when Jay gets some stamina back, he should be fine. Into Colleen.
So Colleen at short does work since she would be the fourth pitcher.
Well, but I mean, could end up third, maybe second.
Yeah,
I think it works. One big bat, two if you count Futterman. I don't hate it.
I think it's a big field for this roster.
yeah. It's gonna be rough if Billie Jean doesn't get very many power-ups.
Mm-hmm. She's a black hole.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many. Let's see if Jay Green can have his steroids again or not.
All right, let him in the hole.
Next, Lil Waz at Steel Stadium. Look out! Here come the homers.
But then he said he was practicing and he couldn't hit homers, so he tried to reinvent his team at the last second. Like he traded he traded you, didn't he? He traded Peggy for Whitney. So.
Oh yeah, that is true. I forgot. I almost forgot. Yep.
He doesn't want home runs after all.
That's a mistake. And anyone putting Chico on the block, come on, Lil Waz, what are we doing? I think he's got trauma from his first online loss of his career. Because, dude,
could be true.
I mean, like that core of Chico and Vlad and Stan and Peggy was pretty dirty, and Ernie boosted Ernie. I wouldn't have touched it, but maybe he'll be happier with Whitney. Did he need relief pitching?
Maybe.
I think that's what the reason was, because of the pitching.
Yeah. So I still think this team is solid, even with Whitney. I think they're going to defend mostly well outside of Petra, who will hopefully hit 15 bombs this season.
Yeah, Petra second base. Gotta hide it.
Mm-hmm. And so is he starting Ernie or Ernie one bag?
Ernie first, Whitney starting pitcher.
So Whitney into Dom. Dom's in right.
Yeah. I like that this team has Dominique and Dominic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So he's got Vlad catcher, Chico left.
Yeah.
Which I love Chico in the outfield. He's dirty out there, even with the arm. And then Stan can play anywhere. Stan's probably playing third or short, right?
Third base, yeah. Ingrid at short.
Dom low in center.
Yeah, that works. I think that's pretty solid.
Yep, I agree. So we'll see. Hopefully the home run bats come around, but I mean, Whitney's not a bad piece. And Nate, that was our last trade we completed, was I think the Whitney for Liz trade in season 8.
No, it was
or maybe no, we did Ramona and Kylie in 8.
That's what it was. Yeah, Ramona, Kylie in season 9.
Whitney and no, 9 we didn't make a trade. 9 was did we?
Yeah, that was season 9 because that was at Ekman.
8 was the Liz and Whitney trade, and then 9 was the Kylie and Ramona trade. But I think it works.
Yes, we stopped doing trades and started doing podcasts.
That's it. Next, we have, at this moment in time, well, never mind. I'm not going to say anything about defensive alignment. We got Silver Bullet. And Silver Bullet this year went with the Crazy Melonheads with the retirement of Oops, and he's playing at Playground. A Melonheads team at Playground with Pablo. That's about as American backyard baseball as it gets.
This team hasn't put together their defense yet, and they would like help. So we could put it together for them right now.
I think we got it. Pablo shortstop, right?
Who's the first base?
Wow.
Or who do you think would be first base?
Well, let's build the rest of it real quick. So
First base, probably Felix.
Yeah. Donald catches, obviously. Yeah, this team is slow. Kirkos in the outfield. He's going to have to play Pablo in the outfield, right?
You think this team's slow? They're full of 7 speeds. That's fast in my book.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay. Their mean speed is good. Median speed not good, or I don't know. God, it's a bunch of the same. Really, his arms. You play Sonia in the outfield. I think you play Sonia and Kirkos in the outfield. Johnny Omar at third base.
He needs a pitcher. His only 2 pitchers are Sonia and Johnny.
Yeah, he's got to pitch Sonia. Just trust me on this one, SB.
Oh, he just sent me what he thinks. Oh, and he's reading our minds. He's got Pablo shortstop, Sonia pitcher, Donald catcher. He's got Pamela at first base.
No, that's wrong.
She's the only 3 height, but that's not bad.
They're all 2 heights, and Pablo's a 1. Pamela needs to be in the outfield.
We got to test the theory.
Test the theory.
Okay.
Yeah. Pamela needs to be in the outfield.
I think Timmy is in the outfield for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timmy and Pamela and
PJ.
I think PJ played. Oh God.
PJ outfield. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
he's got Pamela at first and Felix in right field.
No. I think Felix maybe plays 3-bag. Or first base, and then Jomar 2-bag because that's your first reliever. Horace at 53 on a third isn't a blast either. Probably Horace third for the speed, and then Felix first.
Mm-hmm.
Jomar second, PJ right field, or PJ center. Pamela and Timmy around. Well, they're not that fast either. I think Pamela's his fastest player besides Pablo. Pamela needs to be in the outfield. You can't waste your one of your best arms.
Pamela left field?
Yeah, maybe Pamela left field.
But then again, it's playground, so that's a short.
Center. Pamela center. PJ in left, maybe.
That might work.
PJ left, Pamela center, Timmy right, Felix first, Horace third, Jomar second. I think that's... All right, it's just put in what we say instead.
I'm not gonna tell him everything we said because nobody else got that luxury. So I did give him 1 pointer, but he had asked for advice before we started talking.
Well, I mean, if he asked for advice, then why not?
I think for sure Pamela cannot play first base on this team. I know it's his only 3 height, but okay, enough about that.
Gotta test the theory.
I think this team is really okay.
So you're saying this team is mid?
Basically, yeah. They aren't slow. 8s was right. They're not slow, but they're not fast by any means. Their arms are okay, and they're kind of hit and miss on the bats. I think he's going to struggle to score runs with this team, if we're being fair. I mean, last year he had the really good defensive team at Steel, but I feel like his offense was better on that team than this team, and he still struggled to score runs.
Yeah, Pablo's going to have to hit a bunch of home runs for this team to be successful.
And I know Toast hit all the bombs with Sonia Stan. Like, I didn't use them that way. I think Sonia probably hit maybe 4 for me, but they don't feel like an offensive powerhouse. They just feel like that's a strong kid, but she's not an overwhelming offensive player.
Yeah, this team has got, I think, got to use the grounder and the line drive, and then Pablo's got to be Pablo.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, we got former boss. This isn't Congress. No life terms here. Yates, do you want to speak about your predecessor?
This team might win 0-3. Uriah might finally get off the schneid. Just those top
Arms.
two, the super fast and super strong throwers. Those are good core pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little bit lacking on home runs at big dirt yards, but they've got the couple weak fast players, and then the couple who can drive it to the outfield and get everyone to score.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team's pretty good.
I agree. I'm with you. I had Uma last year, and I didn't love her being my only power bat, but maybe he'll have more success. But yeah, I think really good arms outside of the two. So I think it's strong. It'll be strong in dirt.
Yeah, I think if this was not dirt yards, I think I would not like this team at all. But since it's at dirt yards, I think it fits. I think it works.
That's enough about the boss.
Now this is slightly, I don't know what you want to make of it, but the catcher on this team is Maya.
Ooh, 4 stamina.
Kathy is center and Susan is third base.
Okay, so
I kind of like that because they're so fast they can cover a lot of ground. Whereas if you put one of them behind catcher, they just sit there.
That's fair. I mean, the only thing they're really good for is scooping up the BS. So did he go Beltran short?
Let me scroll back there. Yes,
Beltran short. Colin first. Uma third.
No, Susan's third.
Oh, Susan's. Oh, yeah, because is Jody going to start for him? Or is Coleman going to start for him?
George. Yeah.
So Coleman into Jody at second, probably.
Jody's in left field.
Okay.
And then it's a mess to see who's going to...
Potter and...
Yeah.
You got Kathy at 200. You got Uma at 202 and Linda at 204. Those are so close. It could be any of those three.
It's nice, though, if he can keep Kathy off the mound, because she'll be deadly there now. I don't know if he's listening. I wouldn't play her there on the user side because her eye is so bad. Last year I ran into that. I played her in left field on the AI side, and I played her at shortstop on the user side just because I didn't want to have to deal with her pop-up circle. But yeah, I think this seems solid. Them or probably Lil Waz would be my two picks for this. I like their team comps the best, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I like Uriah's team a little bit more than Lil Waz's team for their field.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would go Uriah, Lil Waz, Alex, and then SB.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing.
So that does it for the front yard league. Moving on to the backyard. So we got starting with another rookie, Cherry, who is also playing at dirt yards. The two dirt yard teams back to back, knocking them out.
This team is an interesting smattering of players.
Yeah, double Tommy.
When he submitted the lineup, I almost wanted to check and make sure that he knew that this was 03 Don Cozart and not 01. Because he put Don in center field and batting leadoff.
He might not. Cherry came over from BBL, right?
Yes.
He did, but when he's looking at his team, he would be able to see that Don and Jim are the exact same player.
Right.
Well,
I
guess
guess if you look at Jim Tomey match, who does he have around Don?
He got Lindsay in left and Goodfellow in right field.
Oh my God. You guys stop putting Jennifer in right field. There's one position she plays in at second base and maybe third base. That's it.
And DH once that gets invented.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's her. She is the DH. This team throws well, though.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of the 3 runners they have, they're really pretty slow. And you got the 2 big bats. So hopefully, and one of the bats is one of his 3 runners. So it doesn't seem like a dirt yards team to me.
Yeah, that outfield is huge. But if he can give Lindsey an MVP type season, then anything's possible.
Yep. I mean, maybe he's just hoping Randy holds people down, but yeah, I know where I'm hitting the ball when I play Cherry.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Wing and Lindsay and Wendy are going to be really good for dirt yards. Jennifer could hit some home runs.
Sure. Randy's got a fine bat. Tommy and Cozart fine, but none of them run well. And then Butch and Tiffany are going to be rough.
Yeah, I don't know how well this team is gonna do.
So is he going Randy into Tiffany into Wing?
Yeah.
So Tiffany's second.
He's got here's another interesting one. He's got Tiffany at first base, hoping Randy goes over there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, don't hate that. And then Wing in left.
Wing is third base.
Oh, who did you say's in left? Lindsay. Sorry. So Tiffany to 3-bag after 10 runs. Butch catcher.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Next we got Mr. Was burnt so bad by the L1 league, I'm only going to play in 03 this year, Itanium. And he is taking his Giants to Parks, which he played his 01 team at Parks last year. Is that right?
Yeah.
You said yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's had
It's almost the same team.
Yeah. I mean, when he came on the pod, he had a very firm plan and executed it well. And so I have no doubt that he will find success doing it again.
But this defense is so bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. He has one?
He's got
one arm.
He's got 6 arms that are 31 or less.
Yep. He has double Dante, and so one of them has to play shortstop.
And the other one's got to play center field.
Yep. And Mikey catcher, and oh wow.
Oh, he's putting the 2 Dantes at third and short.
And Mikey's catching?
Yeah.
So he's going to rely on speed. So that means he's got Olga, Luann. Well, Luann, both of those are pitchers. Fred, Luann, Olga out there, or Tatiana, Fred, Olga out there?
He's got Fred in left, Tatiana center, Olga right.
And then Luann on the mound pushing Olga.
Luann at second base and Joella starting pitcher.
And who's at first? Tatiana?
No, first base is Lance. This is the same thing he did last year where he said the pitcher's not important and like his starting pitcher was Cindy Chang. This time it's Joella.
He's going Joella into Luann.
That might be the worst starting pitcher in rBBL history. She's a 2 out of 10 pitcher.
So Joella into Luann at second, and then Luann into right for Olga, and then Olga to first for Lance. I mean,
you better hope Luann doesn't go to first base.
Mm-hmm. You're right, though. I mean, he has
every game with this team is going to be 40 to 35. Oh man! But unfortunately, I think he's going to be the one scoring 40. While he holds his opponent to 35.
Yeah. Well, he's also probably gambling on the fact that not everyone's going to be able to take advantage of his abysmal defense. Like some people just can't do it. Myself included a lot of days.
That's why you just have to keep restarting until you get the 50.
No, we cut that out in season 7. Season 8 was the first year for no restarts. If you didn't take advantage of them in 7, you didn't get them.
Wait, hold on. Doing some math here. That means that combined, his 3 outfielders have an arm strength of 69 combined.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Not for all of us playing against him, not for him.
Right. And like, why put both those 64 on? I mean, he's just gambling on. Where's he at? He's at Parks. He's really just
gambling on people. It is a small outfield.
Yeah.
But wait until he plays on the road at Ekman or something.
Hey, for all the
Ooh,
schedule
that's against
makers,
me. Yeah, I'm the only Ekman in the deck. I wonder if I play that home or away.
well, I have for the schedule makers, I have a crisp Abe Lincoln for somebody that gives me Itanium at Dirt Yards or at Sandy Flats. I mean,
All right, under the table, I do know the schedule, but we're not revealing it yet.
that's
Making
okay.
sure everybody's got their defense in, so you can't do things like this.
Right. Okay. Well, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him at all. But yeah, that's a bad defense, and he doesn't care. So
I want to see how many 50s he puts up.
We'll
all right.
see.
Next, we got Jibbo Duck Hippo. And I have to say, I somehow am in this channel, and I'm an O3 manager. But it was an interesting ride to be in that channel. So
I hate to say this, but I kind of hope this team is horrible. Because if it is, then nobody will ever try this multiple GM thing again.
as the G or as the commissioner, you're just like, please don't let this work. Please don't let this work.
I am concerned that they have 2 ninth rounders, and 2 ninth rounders and Ricky Johnson, who was not one of them.
Yep. It started really strong, but the issue with that is like they gave up capital to start strong, and then it's like the rope ran out.
Yeah.
There was only so much capital to give up, and then they were kind of just stuck with what they had. And so I think it has a really strong core. I didn't love the trade that they made. I can't even remember who it was at this point. It was for Yvonne and somebody. Molly, or no, it wasn't Molly, but I think it has the potential to be okay. But I think this team's going to struggle to score runs. They're going to have to just lean really heavily on Marilyn and Pete and hope that they can hold people down.
Yeah, it's got the most heavily praised left fielder, shortstop, and pitcher. But then after that, it's whoever was available at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I like the top 4.
Yeah, Yvonne's solid.
And I think that they're going to have to rely on that. I do like the Ricky pick, but Ricky without power-ups, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, that's me in 01, Ricky without power-ups.
You get a pass, though.
Thanks. Hey, he's been my favorite from day one.
They got Yvonne at first base, first reliever. Yeah. So,
well, and then they get the 5 height push in there. I think it's going to be one of those things though, where if you've got somebody who's skilled with bat control, they're just going to hit the ball away from Pete and Marilyn and attack that right side of the field.
Titanium.
Yeah, I mean it's like a tale of two halves. It's like the left half. It's like that dragon meme with the 3 dragon heads. You guys know that one?
Yeah.
It's like that. So, but I commend Jibbo for continuing to meme. He has been the most consistent memer we have, and it's always fun to see what he comes up with. So I will give him that.
I'm looking forward to the games where people tell him where to click and stuff.
Yeah, the multiple GMs, they all have a role. Like, that is so funny to me. We need to get them all on stream together and let them call pitches and all of the things.
No, you gotta have to have it for like one of the simul stream match of the weeks.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's gonna be some good entertainment right there.
All right, enough about the Ducks. We are moving on.
Actually, I got one more thing to add about the Ducks.
Oh, okay, one more thing on the Ducks. Yeah. All right, we are on to Pepsi, which I don't know what Pepsi's going by right now, but he is really just Pepsi in all of our hearts. So he rounds out the Backyard West and taking his Super Duper Diamondbacks, 3rd season for those Diamondbacks. And let me just say, I don't remember if they were used in season 8, but really giving the Diamondbacks a good name after the season 7 scandal. Let me just keep bringing that up. Those were pre-8
I don't
days.
think they were
Pre-8 commissioner days.
I don't think they were used in season 8.
Yeah, so Pepsi has really rebranded them well under the Super Duper moniker. So he's going.
Now, if only we had a subscription for each time you brought up the S7 Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we need a soundboard. We need a soundboard like we're a radio show.
You got the Discord soundboard though.
Yeah, true. Which I still don't know where it is or how to use it.
What do you want me to play? What do you want? What soundboard do you want?
Anytime I bring up season 7 or the Diamondbacks or Jay Green, I want that.
I do that all the time.
That works. that
the Emery.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Anyway, this team is a real Pepsi team.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try and hit a bunch of home runs. Where does he play?
Cement.
Oh, he plays at Cement. Why is he doing that? It could work.
I like this team though.
Got some speed.
Yeah, he doesn't run. Yeah, he doesn't run bad. He's got arms. Huddy on the mound.
I think it'll be interesting to see how Pepsi can do at Cement because I don't think he's had a Cement field.
Yeah, double chipper.
I think he was at Steel.
Steel last year. I don't remember where he was in 9.
Might have been Playground. I don't remember if that's right or not. Could be wrong.
Double chipper. Besides stamina, chipper is one of my favorite players in this game. He generally goes a little rich for my blood, but yeah, I think this team is solid. I think they're going to defend pretty well. He does run into that relief prio. So is he starting Leah 8s?
No, he's starting Hudson. Second base.
It works. I mean, she's a menace there for those first 5 runs. And then Isabel, does he have in right?
Isabel is shortstop.
Okay. So, and Leah at shortstop's not terrible. Hobon catcher. Brett left field?
Brett center field.
Sheila left?
Sheila in right, Anna in left.
Why not speed out there?
Guess you gotta ask Pepsi.
Well, just to guard the alley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it works. Love Artie Arlene, and we'll see. Pepsi, great player.
Yeah, a lot of good players. I think the big question is, can Pepsi translate his success to a different style of field?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about this division?
I think it's definitely Itanium's to lose.
Yeah, I think so. And Itanium's team will play good at both the two of his teams at Cement. His team will play there well too. Sorry.
Oh, and Dirt Yard, so that's going to be...
Oh, that's 3 big outfields for that weak-armed trio.
That is true too, though.
Yeah, but if he scores 50, it doesn't matter.
So I do think the only one that will be able to exploit that defense is Pepsi out of the 3.
Yeah, I would agree. It's got the most power bats.
I think Itanium, it really depends on how well the defense goes for Itanium, but I do think that Itanium takes it. But I would not be shocked if to see Pepsi like kind of as a dark horse candidate for the division. Maybe there's some good betting lines for Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
Probably make a lot of clanky coins if you put your clanky coins on Pepsi right now. And it turns out to happen. So it's our division, Crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Starting with Andrew Pays at Sandy Flats.
This team is intriguing. It's got if you're looking at it in order, the top 5 have good arms, and then the bottom 4 just no more arms.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it depends on where those 4 are spread out to.
He's got the one big power bat, which I know that you don't necessarily need at Sandy, but it's such a big field. It's nice to have people that can drive the ball to the gaps. And Terry's not the most consistent bat, so those runner, like really just all of Kenny gets the Ichiro buff. I'm looking at Kenny's numbers, like those aren't Kenny, but I don't think it's bad. I don't know that the Webbers are Sandy Flats players, but I mean, they'll be solid anywhere. Good arms, and they'll be great defensive pieces for him.
So who's starting at pitcher? Kenny?
Yeah.
So Kenny into Terry, right? No, I'm looking at Kenny into Nomar.
Yeah.
Into Webbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
That makes it tough. Your best three pitchers three of your best defenders are all relievers.
A lot of really good line drive bats, though, so we'll see how he does it offensively.
Yeah. Gotta hit those big gaps.
Yeah, I don't know how well he'll do, but it'll be interesting just to see if he can pull it off. I see what he was going for, like he was trying to do. I just don't know if he can actually pull it off.
It's funny that he got the Devil Rays and the Angels for the opposites, but then he also got Tin Can Alley and Sandy Flats, which are also very opposite.
I like the bit.
Yeah. Sunny Angels and dark, dim Devil Rays, too. All right, next we got Boss's team.
Uh-oh, Crazy's got Cheryl.
That's about all I have on the offensive side.
You got Fabian.
She'll have to do some heavy lifting.
You got Giga Chad.
No, my idea here was when my first pick came up, I was hoping to get a Sammy, and I did. And then I didn't pick again until 48, and it was just pretty rough. And so the top option seemed to be Hillary. And I was like, wow, I got two strong arms. What if I just only picked strong arms? So I kept it going, except I had to reach a couple times. And Baby Ann's arm isn't great, but it's okay to play second base.
That's all her. So did you make a trade? Because 48 is the last pick in the second round, and 8, that doesn't check out, right?
I think I traded down. What did I do? Trying to find it. Oh, yeah, my second round pick was 41, and I moved down 7 to move up 12 later.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think around that time, I didn't like anybody that was available at 41.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's definitely scary with those arms. Where are you playing?
Ekman.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrifying. 2 great bats. I mean, I think it definitely has the potential to work if you can get some of those. I mean, what's the weakness here? Yeah, y'all don't run that well.
The weakness is everybody's slow.
And stamina's middling, but LOL Fab has the most stamina. It's because she doesn't run anywhere. She walks everywhere. But I'd be as soon as I looked at this, and then Vis had opinions, but like I was terrified. Arms are the scariest thing to put me playing against because they're the equalizer.
I think this team will stop grounder ball, but if you have a power hitting team, then we can't play behind the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to make a trade to improve the offense of this team, and I offered Nate something, but he didn't take it.
No, I didn't like it.
I was trying to turn Hillary into Francis.
Oh yeah,
but I didn't have very many appealing trade pieces in the other part of my lineup.
Yeah, I think it was you offered Hillary and Souffle, right?
Yeah, for Francis and what's her name? Tanya Lesko.
Yeah, I did not like the problem with it is that I like Lesko more than Souffle.
Okay.
Because I've been liking the bat so far. I was like, yeah.
My master plan was to get Tanya Lesko and then trade her for Greg Vaughn because he has the Carlos Delgado pitching animation. So I was going to make him starting pitcher.
Jesus. That's smart. It's like maniacal.
Oh, well. No, the biggest problem with this draft of mine was it was around 5th or 6th round. Yeah, it was around the 5th round, and I really wanted Frankie or Isabel, and they both got taken, so after that, there's like nobody with an arm. So I traded down. And then I had back-to-back picks in the 6th. And like the only 2 people in the next 40 that had arms were Vic and Tina. And I was like, well, I guess I got to do it. So
for the memes.
Yeah, I wish one of those had been a Frankie or Isabel or Nikki or Molly. I was just a little too far away from taking them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about my draft is that, other than the 9th rounder, of course, my last pick was 157. So it's like middle of the 7th round, I was done. But I was still reaching because I only wanted people with arms. So I had done all this draft finagling to get good positions, but then I was just reaching anyway.
What I'm hearing is memeing is not the most conducive to optimal draft.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be really annoying to play against.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's so annoying. I am not.
Especially at Ekman.
I'm hoping the ground balls go right to my people. Oh, the other thing is, with all these arms, this could result in a lot of double plays, both on my side and on the AI's.
But yeah, and y'all don't even run that bad. You just don't run good.
Yeah.
Fab runs bad. Fab doesn't run. Ryan runs bad. Fab doesn't run.
Fab doesn't run. Fab walks.
Yeah, Fab walks around the bases. All right, boss. Anything else on your team?
It was nice to make a defense because I could almost just put anybody anywhere.
You're right.
So next up, I think, is my team.
Mike.
So we got Mike Madness.
Or wait, yeah, Mike, and then me.
Mike is going with the opposite of what he tried last season. Last season, he had the amazing defense, but then he couldn't score any runs himself. So he tried to take a full 180, and he went only offense.
Yeah. And they're at TCA, but I don't think TCA is going to help those running numbers.
True, he's got a bunch of slow people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is 6
even slower
runners,
than mine, which I
way
was shocked.
yours. 6 runners under 37, and then Clanky. Yeah, they all hit the wall, which is the benefit. Literally everyone on his team can do it. Machiko can. That's going to be the sketchiest one, but I don't know. It's not awful. Like, he's got the 3 bad arms, and then he's got 6 really good arms, or 6 good arms, and a lot of good bats. But
I think he picked Pujols too early. Could have gotten someone better.
Yeah. Do we think that he breaks his own strikeout record with Clanky this year?
Yes.
Clanky is actually not very good. Clanky's not very good at throwing power pitches. That was the big thing with the man. He'd always throw a power up on strike 2.
He's got a 0 on everyone.
Those aren't part of Clanky's programming.
Yeah,
he's only programmed to throw heat, slow ball, left hook, right.
Mm-hmm. He's a BP pitcher. So he goes. Where's he have Maria? The outfield left.
Left field.
Yeah, I like that. So he goes Clanky into Maria, and Clanky will be fine out there, even though he doesn't run that well.
So does he have K catcher?
Yeah. Or help. I don't hate the defense. So he's got, and then Helton short, or Helton first.
First base.
God, that's
Zoe at short
of an arm. Why not switch those?
Yeah, Zoe at short seems like a mistake.
Well, with the arm and the relief prio, like, that makes no sense. I mean, I know she's 4th, but still, play Pujols.
Albert probably should be first base.
Yeah, right.
I think maybe he his pros he got there. He only thinks about them as their actual position. Because in this game, no, Pujols is a left fielder.
Mm-hmm.
But Helton's a first baseman in the game.
So is he going Rose pitcher? Oh no, he's going Clanky pitcher. So the issue is he has 3 defensive holes in Hendricks and Mallory and Flugel.
And Pujols is not a hole?
I mean, yeah, he kind of is too. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
oh wait, I forgot. Oh my goodness, I was thinking Zoe Mallory is A-Rod, but that's 0-1.
Yeah, he is. Pujols and Mallory are theoretically the same size of defensive hole, almost identical. Yeah, he's got 4 holes. That defense is, and they're not going to run well.
Exactly the opposite of last season.
It'll be fun to watch him try to break the strikeout record, though.
I think he might enjoy an offense that actually scored runs.
Yeah, and he'll score runs. And I hope he brings back the production value of his little showcases. They kind of fell off. At first, he was doing the big-time national anthem. I mean, that was so great to me.
Yeah, we definitely need more of those, Mike. So if you're listening to this, we need more of those. Looking forward to those streams.
All right, next we got you, Nate. And you're not Braves, right?
No, switching it up. Going with the home team.
They're going to make me think you're Slim all year. The lone scrap.
This team's terrible. Okay, next.
that was me on Saturday, so.
I kind of, I don't know. I was doing, the draft with Ace, and then I kind of got a little bit upset. Well, more just not necessarily upset, but a little bit disappointed because ever since my initial season, I've always had either Peggy or Rachel on one of my teams. And drafted Whitney instead because of the relief prio, and it was better fit for what the construction was trying to go for. But it's like, it's kind of, at this point, it's my version of like Oops with Fabian.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just you kind of just need it, even though it's not the best fit. You just, it's just for the lore and everything. But turns out that when I saw that Lil Waz was offering Peggy, I had to slide into those DMs and pulled it off. Got traded Peggy for Whitney. So I'm really thinking the offense is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. The top 4 is really nice, and then I also have Perry and Jerry that can hit some home runs. Fernando and Tanya have some nice line drive bats and some nice defense. Mm-hmm. And I've been really liking the Keisha clones in practice. So defense is not as good with switching out Peggy for Whitney, but Peggy can hit home runs very, very well. And that's what I'm hoping for from her. Hoping for another 15 to 20 home runs from her.
Look at it. I mean, it doesn't... You've got the 1, 2, 3. You got 5 good arms and 2 decent arms. It doesn't look that bad. That your bottom 4 run a little bad, but to me, on paper, it looks like a really strong team. I know relief is where it's going to get a little funky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jerry's on the mound, then you don't know if he's going to switch to Davey or Francis.
Nope.
Or do you start Waters into Jerry?
So I started. I think I sent what I sent. I sent Perry is on the mound. Perry into Jerry. I think.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I like that. As long as Jerry's not first, because then you at least get 10 runs. You've got Francis and Davey, which do you have one at short and one in left?
Yep.
The issue is, I wish you could tell the file which one to put in first.
If they don't lose stamina, it'll put in Davey first.
Is he in left?
Yeah.
For sure. That's cool then.
But if they both get slightly diminished as far as stamina, then possibly Melissa could come in.
Yeah.
So, okay, Nate. So walk us through that then. Melissa's on this team and may not even pitch.
Initially I was thinking Melissa at first base. That's why I drafted Melissa.
3 height?
Yeah.
3 height?
Yeah.
Or 2 height?
3 height. Because initially that's what I was going to have Melissa, and also that's, decent height. And I hit pretty well with Tim and last season with power up. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a good offensive piece and decent AI first baseman. We'll see how it all turns out though. One thing I don't know who I'm going to be pitching on the user side. I don't know if I'm going to be using Melissa, Perry, or Jerry. Or I could use Fernando, honestly, a pitcher, but I don't think I really want to, given the arms.
I think you go Melissa. Melissa or Jerry. Perry's got enough arm to play in the field somewhere.
That's what I was thinking.
You could pitch one of them, and then as soon as you give up a run, somebody else is pitching this game.
Yep. Yeah, short leash.
Yeah, I have options. Could do the starter, the opener, what people do.
So Tanya catcher?
Yes, Tanya catcher.
Okay, yeah, and that's not that works.
And then Peggy first base. So I did.
So is Melissa at second?
Melissa's in right. Jerry's at second.
Oh, okay.
Because then, once when Perry's done, Perry goes to second. Jerry goes on the mound, and then Jerry goes wherever Jerry feels like going because he's Jerry.
Right. Himchel.
Yeah.
So Gwen left or Gwen center, Fernando third, or vice versa.
Gwen center, Fernando third. Yeah.
I like that. You're gonna love Gwen too. I thoroughly enjoyed having them last year.
Did you go line drive or how did you do that?
Yeah, 99. Yeah, I think maybe not 99. I did grounder a little bit, but they were really my two best bats. Obviously, Uma was my power bat, but I struggled with Uma, so I used them. I think I hit them 1 and 3, so I relied on them to drive in runs. So I went line drive, grounder every once in a while, but yeah, line drive primarily.
So yeah, I think this team is going to do pretty well. I should. The goal is to score at least 12 runs a game and be consistent at it. Because sometimes I have games where I score 25 to 30, and then there's games where I score 3.
Yep, same.
So I'm trying to cut down on the games that I score 3.
Save the 3-run game for when you play me.
Yeah, same. Me too.
I don't know. I'm hoping that's not the case. But with those arms you got, might be the case unless I hit home runs. Those arms cannot catch home runs from Peggy Heffernan.
That's correct.
All right, what do you guys think of this division?
I think Nate's the front runner.
I think I would be the favorite, but I could see Crazy doing it. It really depends on how well Crazy's defense does.
Yeah, how stifling those arms are. I think your Nate is the best overall, like well-rounded roster construction. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to play against those arms. So I think it's really just going to depend on how that plays out.
You have to play against my arms once.
I know, I sure do. And I honestly think I'd rather play at Ekman than Sandy with those arms.
Should I give a little sneak preview as to where our game is being held?
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey.
I have the schedule in front of me. No, I actually... Past couple seasons, I've made the schedule, but this time, Arco made the schedule. So
I like that. I have objective
absolutely zero. I like that. I can't find us. We must be playing very early in the season. We play week 6, and the game will take place at Sandy Flats.
Ooh.
No. Well, if my team's here in a few. If I can get the ball past your people that they struggle to run to it, maybe we'll be okay.
All right, on to the backyard east.
Yeah, Mr. Brett Olson himself, JY Knight.
This team is not great at anything, but is good at a few things. Like they don't have any super arms or super sluggers.
They run pretty well.
Yeah.
Outside of the last 2. Where are they at? Paveway.
I actually really like this team.
I think they'll be good at Paveway.
I don't know necessarily how, but it's just a bunch of like really good players.
Mm-hmm.
And like the only player that's kind of like not that great has power ups. So
is Ellen gonna catch?
Yes.
So it's like she serves that purpose. She's better than Esmeralda.
Esmeralda would come into pitch right away.
Who has Esmeralda? Somebody drafted her again this year?
Nope. She has not been touched.
Yeah, I think on cement, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these runners are going to get... I mean, Faye will get that little bump, but that's going to give people trouble. But yeah, no crazy bats outside of, Sophie, Nevin. No crazy arms, but I think a good, well-rounded team. I think they can have success for sure. So is he starting Sullivan on the mound?
I think he might be starting Sophie. Let me double check. Yeah, Sophie on the mound.
Sophie into Sullivan at first?
And right field.
Huh.
First baseman is Nevin.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably Phil's best position.
And you got to start Sophie on this team, because if you start Sullivan, then Sophie comes in second, and then Sophie switches with wherever Courtney is.
Which is left?
Well, he's got Courtney at second base.
Cliff
is playing shortstop on this team.
Okay. Jimmy left?
Yeah.
Faye center?
Faye's at third base.
Ruth
center and Kristen right field.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I like that people are still like, people don't have set positions. Some of them kind of do, but there's some movement within that. I always like to see that.
So where was Courtney?
Second,
because of the pitching, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like this team. I like this team. I think we'll see how well JY does. JY just kind of missed out on the playoffs last season, so maybe they can crack it into the playoffs this year.
Yep. Next, we got Marco playing at Parks. Oh my God, this team's gonna hit so many home runs.
Marcellus, Zena, Jane, Frankie, Gary, Betty,
Nikki. Yeah.
The lowest power is 72, and that's Kimmy.
Yeah.
I still don't know why he took Kimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Unless he just wanted to snipe me at Ekman.
I think he had to have just been looking at one of the highest power bats in that range.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Because I thought that too. I was like, that makes no sense.
But hold on, wait. Looking at the draft board, right after Kimmy, Terry was still available. He hates Terry.
Same.
Meisenheimer was there.
Yeah, but I'm taking Ekman over Meisenheimer.
Yeah.
I just know when I messaged you, like, I thought I was going to get her. Like,
no,
that's why I tried to make that trade. And then
you're not as sneaky as you think you are over there.
Well, whatever.
Like I said earlier, my second to last pick was like middle round 7. Right. And I was like, do I take Kimmy here? But then looking at the board, I didn't think the only other Ekman team was Scott, and I didn't think he was going to take it because he was just doing pros. And I had the 9th round pick before Scott. So I was saying, I think she'll fall in the 9th round because who else wants her? And then lo and behold. And then I tried to trade with him right away because my last pick had been Chad. So I said, I'll give you Chad for Kimmy. And he said, no, I want power hitters.
He got him.
I could have done Fabian for Kimmy, but I don't know.
That might not have been bad, but I think this team is not terrible. They're not going to defend that well.
It's diet, I take you.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know if it's a diet. I mean, this is the Mighty Melonheads right here. This team is stacked with home run hit. I mean, if he's seeing the ball and timing the ball well, I think this team's going to score a ton of runs. So it's really just if that defense holds or falls completely apart.
He did a couple practice games, and they were around plus 20.
Yeah, I mean but
they were not verified by Jim Integrity, so we can't.
Of course, right. But I mean that is. I mean he's got a couple pieces. Like if a competent player runs up against that team, I think they'll be able to bust that wide open. But
the one thing about drafting all power hitters, which I tried once, but that was before we knew who were power hitters and who weren't. But anyway, the thing about drafting all power is that, okay, you don't hit a home run, you accidentally get a single, or like bounce off their head or something, you get a single. Next person you pop up, boom, don't play. Because you're going to be swinging power the whole time.
Well, and that was the other when I didn't do it like this in season 7, but it was like I wanted a couple people that would get on base. So like I had Star that year. Like I didn't want 100% power bats. I wanted like 80% power bats. But A lot of power. I mean, he accomplished what he set out to do. 3 first-rounders for the first time since his inaugural season, and I don't think this team is as bad as his first team. So,
is Marco going to break any records for home runs?
Maybe.
That's a hard list to sneak on to.
Even for Lulu?
I have the record back in the cheese days. I hit 120 that one year. I went all power hitters.
8s is on it like 5 or 6 times, and I remember I'm on it from the season 17, but it's like in the 70s or 80s to even crack the list. I'm pretty sure, right?
All right. If we look at Lulu only,
I don't look at.
If we're looking at Lulu only, top 10 starts at 68 team home runs.
So you got to get 69. That would be pretty nice.
I had my Phillies. Oh man, my
Phillies,
season 7 Phillies with the worst defense I've ever seen. They hit 104 home runs. So if you take 100, if he wants 105, which would be the record, divided by 9 players, that's 11 or 12 home runs per player.
That's so crazy.
So then if you get like, he's got Xena, right? Yeah, if like Xena and Jane both hit 20, then that's, if Xena and Jane both hit 20, then everybody else has to have about 9 home runs per player. But yeah, if there's any roster that's going to do it, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how Marco does.
Go on, Bats.
We'll see if his roster is going to be bringing the thunder from down under. So next up, we got your team, Wizard.
Yeah, it's my Sandy team.
Why sand?
So I played in sand in my inaugural season 5, and then obviously I played in sand for 6, 7, and 8 at Casa. Oh, no, excuse me. 7, 8, and 9 at Casa. 6 I played actually at Scrapco, but just coming off a tin can, and like obviously I want to win, but I just wanted to switch things up this year. So I messaged Ace and I was like, I got a plan. Sandy, he was like, love it. So really the idea was to put together a defense to give people trouble at sand, because sand is just frustrating. I think I'm going to regret my decision. I played like 1 inning of a scrimmage yesterday. That's why I was bugging you about all the stuff. And I'm obviously kind of rusty, like timing and stuff. But like I think I saw like 4 or 5 batters. I was like, I don't like this. Like Maynard just like rolled over to first base, and then like Trent grounded out. Then Matesta popped up. I was like, all right, I'm done. Quit. Starfield. So that was kind of the plan. I got a little bit goaded into. I mean, I got great value, but the Duck team took my first rounder. So building this team without a first rounder, I still got some good value, but yeah, we brought back Trent in a player trade. So he's the one returner from the season 10 Mighty Rangers. And just hoping that I have enough offense to make some noise. I mean, Debbie, I've never used. Matessa, I traded away last year. So I'm hoping that it works. I think the AI defense will be okay. This kind of put me on the Vanessa thing, and then I kind of looked at things and dropped Tatiana. So anyways, that's kind of where I was at. But high stamina, mostly good arms outside of a couple, but
I think you will enjoy road games more than home games.
Just because it's sandy.
Yeah. But also because you have like 2, maybe 3 or 4 depending on how you swing, but Maynard and Trent like to get on with grounders and beating out the infield, but the grounders don't go anywhere on the sand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maynard. So Maynard was actually a pick. I wasn't really. That was when I was like super swamped at the beginning of the school year. So that kind of, I didn't have a chance to really look at the board there. And Ace wanted that, a speed piece with a good arm, and so took him. And then Trent, I brought Trent over because Ezra, I don't remember why. I think Ezra had I don't remember why. Maybe it was the speed piece, but I liked Ezra for the bat. Something about Ezra catcher that doesn't work. Is she low aggression?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was. I didn't have a really good catcher option, and I just kind of floated that at Anju. So I didn't love it, but I knew Trent would be viable as a catcher, and I had mentioned he was super useless on the one game I played against Schlim at Sand last year, but I'm hoping that he hits 300 and is a defensive staple kind of thing. So we're cautiously optimistic.
I think this team seems like it'd be better for like Cement Gardens than Sandy.
Yeah, it's like I said, I mean, no star power. It just kind of, I don't know where the it's going to come. I don't know where things are going to come from. I'm hoping that I can swing it with Debbie and Matessa. Like Maynard will get on base, but I'm really hoping that with Christina on the mound and then having a decent AI defense that we're just in a lot of games because we hold people down. So that's kind of the plan. And the Vanessa piece, the reason I think she fits is my plan is for her to play second base and actually never come in the game. So I dropped Tatiana. Tatiana's kind of a rough kid. So Vanessa will, I think, either push to fourth or if she makes one throw, or in theory, and then Ramona comes in over her. So that was my thought process. I think Vanessa works on a team with a lot of relievers if you can just hide her defensively.
Guess we'll have to see how annoying this team can be at Sand.
We'll see.
For other people. So the last up is Sihar Box, another rookie for the 2003 season, and it's also the last team on the list as far as the 03 Master tab. Barry Bonds. Interesting decision. I hope his team is not cursed.
This team got kind of rough towards the later rounds of the draft. I think they may have gotten a little bit betrayed by the ADP.
Mm-hmm. Lorelai.
Ronnie.
Well, everybody likes Ronnie.
I think Ronnie is. I think I don't hate Ronnie. Yeah, I wanted to. Ricky Henderson was like the coolest kid I think I'd seen in a while out of a custom. I was super excited to have a chance at him, but the customs I feel like get overdrafted every year. So
this one lasted till 19. I think the other ones, like last year, Willie Mays got drafted like 5th.
Yeah, he did. Well, and like obviously it depends. Like Star was or Ruby was a second rounder. Jackie Robinson was a second rounder, I think. But even then, Nate, was it you that drafted Shohei? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Otani was either second or third.
Which is a crime now, knowing what we know about him. But
yeah, because I had Henri was my first round.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it was at least second round.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least my second pick.
But yeah, I think this team, like with Jillian and Lorelai and Paco, and Todd's a black hole, but like I think offensively kind of rough. Tanya too, to that matter. So we'll see. They run okay.
In his first draft of his defense, he had Paco at catcher, and I talked about him.
Oh no. Okay, I have a question, Nate. Could we look at like a mentor program like teachers do? Like you have a mentor teacher for the first year, because like just any like, and there's a lot of us that would sign up for that, even if it wasn't admin or mod or whatever, league official, because some of these people, I don't know if they're afraid to reach out or stubborn or whatever, but that should have never even went on a draft.
Isn't that A's? Doesn't he draft for everybody now?
No.
He's everybody's mentor.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him if we don't have success this year, like, hey, bud, I was the original that asked you to be my GM. Like, you're done, buddy. You can't be spreading yourself thin for all these other people. But the thing is, I don't know that he's helping rookies. He's helping a bunch of non-rookies. The thing.
He's helping the people that want to get to the next level.
That's it. So
the one strength that this team has, I will say, is this team will have a nasty outfield at Playground Commons because he put Barry, Ricky, and Francesca in the outfield. So very
that
few balls.
Dirty.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Ricky Henderson plays because it's always cool to see how the customs go.
I agree. Well, y'all, what do you think about this division?
Am I crazy if I think Marco has a chance to win this division?
I don't think you're crazy at all.
This one is hard to pick.
Because I think it's like the weakest. I think it's one of the weakest divisions based on like just sheer roster composition. I think any of and let me not count Zorbox out, but I think any of the three of us could end up on top of it. But it also could be one of those things where 7-7 or 8-6 wins this division just because we get beat up on by the other backyard teams. So I'm definitely most afraid to play Marco's team. I think JY's team is pretty solid. So
I think I'm gonna pick JY to win this division. I just can't pick Marco. I just can't come around to doing that.
Yeah, I think JY, I mean, he's going to be so great at home. His team's a running team, really, though. Nothing else. He doesn't do anything else great. He's got that one power bat, so I could see it for sure. He's definitely got a good, well-rounded team. And Marco's his defense could get blown wide open.
Yeah, I think I would pick JY Knight to win. But the interesting thing is having 6 playoff teams now is like, do 2 teams come out of this division, or if, like you said, everyone beats up on everyone? Does it only have one team coming out from it?
My concern is mostly the West and the Central beating up on all of us. Like we might. Well, I said 7-7, 8-6. It might not even be that if we're losing games to, people outside of our division, but it'd be interesting to see. So
with that, is there any, I know Crazy's going to not give any predictions because he wants to have his traditional, but Wizard, do you have any thoughts about who might, make the playoffs or make the World Series?
I'm going to say, no, I don't. I don't have any thoughts.
Wow, you're really thinking there.
I'm looking at the divisions like, I really like Bobby's team a ton, but that is having 2 games against P. Sanchez and 2 games against Toes. That's a tough division. So I think that the backyard is a stronger side, but I think so. I don't know. I really don't know. I think the backyard's a stronger side as a whole. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I kind of picked a kind of a meme pick for 01. So see, do I have a meme pick for 03?
I mean, it's staring you right in the face, or quacking at you right in the face.
The thing is, it has to be like against somebody else, though. Like it has to like fit. So that's always the question is this, because like with Slim and Crazy, that matchup is just historic, Yeah. So I don't know if there's necessarily one. I know. Let's see.
IT and Vis, the battle of the season 10 disappointments. Battle of the should have won the World Series teams in season 10.
I could see that.
Revenge era Vis and IT.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting revenge against Yer in the World Series.
Do we play in 01, Nate?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, buddy.
Wait, in 01? I don't know about 03. I was thinking 03. Let's see, 03.
We do play in 01, and I'll tell you who's coming for you. It's Redacted, because I'm in charge of Redacted this season. He's coming for you, buddy.
Let's see. Yeah, we do play. And I have fact check because you're wondering about why Bobby didn't draft Bobby last time.
Yeah.
So I did some research, did some insider interviews, and I was right. Bobby didn't pick him because he was trying to be a bro to me and didn't want me to get upset.
That's not nice.
So that is canon.
I'm gonna strike out on purpose with him every time the whole season. He's gonna hit 0 this season.
Oh, you can't do that. That's illegal.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm gonna try not to strike out. Yeah.
No. He has to hit 0 until the playoffs, and in the playoffs he hits like 20. Because that's what happened during that. I don't know how many home runs did Bobby hit during the regular season.
Probably 8. But he probably hit like 8 in the postseason.
100. That's how it felt. It felt like 100.
Yeah.
Like every single time that Bobby was up, he was hitting a home run, which is just crazy that somehow you just get hot with a certain player and that just determines the entire series.
It's like real sports.
So that's going to do it for 03.
All right, boys.
Have a good season, everyone, and check out these episodes when they get posted. Got the BBOL World Series in both the Junior League and the Humongous League. Both are tied at 1 apiece at this point, so make sure you check those out on the Twitch channel when those are ready to get played. So I don't know exactly when, but hopefully we'll have some good games the rest of the way. Best of luck for the rBBL season, and may the best teams win. Or memes win.
Let's do it.
See you guys later.
All right. Appreciate y'all.